Eliminating comma splices and run-ons. Part 1. What causes the errors? The sentence structure errors, comma splices, and run-ons occur when two independent clauses are being connected to create one compound sentence. If you need a review of the sentence types, please see the 4 sentence types video. Because each of the independent clauses can stand alone as a sentence, we need to make sure that we punctuate correctly to show where the independent clauses meet, which is the famous junction you may be familiar with from Schoolhouse Rocks, and to show how the independent clauses are related to each other. Let's start with 2 very basic independent clauses so that we can easily see that junction. Remember from the 4 sentence types video that an independent clause is a group of words that contain a subject and a verb and can stand alone.
The dog barked, the cat jumped.
The junction is where the 2 clauses meet. If we capitalize the first letter of each independent clause and then place a period at the end of each clause, we have 2 simple sentence types.
The dog barked, period. The cat jumped, period.
Yes, these are very simple sentences, but bear with me. While a simple sentence type can be useful to make a direct point among a variety of sentence types, if all the sentences are only simple sentence types, they create a choppy, repetitive flow that is rather monotonous for the reader. But more importantly, the sentences would not show strong relationships between the ideas in the sentences. When we write essays, the ideas in our sentences, in our paragraphs, need to work together to build towards bigger ideas that support your overall ideas in the thesis. One step towards this idea is creating compound sentence types by connecting 2 or more independent clauses together to create one sentence that shows the relationships between each other. Back to our silly little sentences. The dog barked and the cat jumped. When you connect 2 independent clauses together, there are always 2 steps you must do at the junction where the independent clauses meet. 1, you must show separation between the independent clauses. Because the clauses are independent, they need to be shown to stand separately, even though they are in the same sentence. 2, you must show the relationship to be understood between the independent clauses. It is the missing of one step or the other or both at that critical junction where the clauses meet that creates the errors of comma splices and run-ons. Let's look at how these errors occur. We need to be sure to keep the 2 necessary steps in mind when connecting the independent clauses. Step 1, show separation of the independent clauses. Step 2, show relationship to be understood between the independent clauses. The error of a comma splice. If you only do step 1, only show separation, then you create a comma splice. The dog barked, comma, the cat jumped. You can think of the comma like it's a knife. It cuts or splices the independent clauses apart. Without showing the necessary second step, relationship, it's like you cut the 2 independent clauses free to float apart, as this sentence shows. Again, keeping the 2 necessary steps in mind when connecting the independent clauses. Step 1, show separation of the independent clauses. Step 2, show relationship to be understood between the independent clauses. The error of a run-on. If you don't do either step or only do step 2, only show the relationship, then you create a run-on. The dog barked, the cat jumped, period. The dog barked, so the cat jumped, period. There are no commas here. The term run-on is a bit problematic because people often think a run-on is a sentence that goes on and on, but that's not what is happening. Remember that junction where the clauses meet. If you do not show separation, then you make it difficult for your reader to see where that junction is, especially in the more sophisticated sentences that we write in essays. So think of a run-on more like a car crash. One independent clause runs on into the next. The cat jumped, dog barked. They just smashed together because there are no commas there. So to review, the error of a comma splice is caused by only using a comma to show separation between the independent clauses, but not showing any relationship between the clauses. The dog barked, comma, the cat jumped, period.
The comma splices to show only separation.
The error of a run-on is caused by not showing any separation, whether or not the relationship is shown.
The dog barked, the cat jumped, period, shows no separation between barked and the.